What is going on, everyone, and welcome to Sir Questley and a new old school RuneScape series. Now this one is going to be quest-locked in a region hardcore Ironman. I'm going to throw up the regions on the screen right now. We're going to use a lot of the Trailblazer regions because they work pretty well. The only thing we're going to do is we're going to cut Kandarin in half-ish. So we're going to remove the Gnome area. That's going to be its own region. And that'll include the Ape Atoll, because that's really the quest line there. Just so that, because Kandarin's gigantic. Just so that we have a little bit more to work towards. Now, rules for the series is going to be pretty easy. We have to complete every quest we can do in a region before we can unlock our next region. The only exceptions to this is if we have to go out of our region for whatever portion of the quest to finish the quest, then that quest does not count. That quest only becomes unlocked and necessary to do once we've unlocked the other regions needed to complete the quest in its entirety. So we're going to start with Misselin, where we spawn in Lumbridge, and this is going to be our ground. So we have to complete every single quest in this region that does not make us leave this region before we can decide what other region we want to go to. Hardcore Iron Man, we're going to drop all of our items just to make sure we're starting fresh. And now that we are empty, we start our journey. I am also going to tie in a little bit of lore and kind of explaining what's going on with the quests in this series, because I am just a big fan of the quests in this series. So kind of describing what's going on and what's happening with the quests as we do them. I think it'll be fun. Because we are starting in Lumbridge, we get to claim our armor, our runes, and our arrows. Oh, you can only claim one? Oh, that's so sad. There's our sword and shield for now. All right. So just so we're clear on what area we have, this is the area of Misselin that we're going to be exploring. So we've got Edgeville, we've got Barbarian Village, Draenor Manor, Draenor Village, but any Port Saram, Faldor, Ice Mountain, all of that stuff is in a different one. We've got Varrock, Dig Site. We've got up here through the Priest and Peril quest, and then down to Lumbridge Swamp, Tor Island too, technically. We really just get frogs while I'm trying to. All right, well, while I'm figuring out what quests we need, we got a frog random. That was fast. Ozon, but that's technically our first item in our collection log. Little frog token. All right, so let's get adventuring. There's a couple, I mean, the basic easy quests we can always knock out. So we're going to do what every level 3 account should do, and that's complete Cook's Assistant. Now, I know we have all done Cook's Assistant multiple times, but we have to help the head chef of Lumbridge, who conveniently forgot all the ingredients to a cake on the Duke's birthday. So we have to run and fetch all of these ingredients ourselves and then give it to him so he can make his cake. Now we do need a bucket. I don't quite remember if there's a bucket spawn or if I need to buy one. So we're just going to grab coins and run in the general store. So groundwork for this account. Aside from the limitations that we can't leave an area, which we now have highlighted in our mini-map, until we've completed all the quests in that area, there's not a lot else exception-wise, because we will be able to go everywhere. So we don't need to make exceptions like normal 100% region-locked accounts do to go get something, go unlock something. It's just, it'll be a progression thing. And we have to weigh our consequences very heavily. Like the desert, we're not going to the desert for a while. Because there are some heavy quests in there. I always thought when I did this that if I didn't examine the millstones, that the flower would come out the bottom. This was back when I was playing this game in 05, 07 originally, and I was a child, but I always thought that if you didn't examine them, your grain would not come out at the bottom. Checking out the minimap, I don't know what our most difficult quest is going to be. What's going to be our biggest block here, because a lot of the more difficult quests, like Dragon Slayer, and I use the term difficult loosely, but for a new account, Dragon Slayer, we have to go to Karamja, so we would have to unlock Karamja, so we don't have to finish that. And then there aren't a ton of difficult quests around. Maybe a Soulsbane isn't even really that hard. So we might be getting out of this area sooner than I thought. Definitely a few episodes, but there doesn't seem to be any, like, most other regions have one hallmark quest that it's like you're gonna have to work towards this and do it. It doesn't seem like Mistlin really does. We have saved the day for the head chef, head cook, and unfortunately I'm not important enough to sit with him for his birthday. But maybe one day, as we said, we'll be important enough. Cook doesn't believe in us, but we believe in us. Anyway, there's 4 cooking, 300 XP, and our first quest done. I'm not deleting these because they're for my main, so just ignore them. But anytime I come up here to do anything, any banking, I'm going to just collect a couple logs and bank them because we'll need them for a lot. And why not do a little bit of fire making or fletching? All right, next we're going to grab a pair of shears, which are 1 coin I overbought, to do our next quest. Fred is too lazy to shear his own sheep. They're getting woolly and he doesn't want to do it. So we're going to shear 20 balls of wool, or shear 20 sheep and turn them into 20 balls of wool and then return. And we have to watch out for the thing, which is this. That's the sheep we can talk to. At least I'm assuming that's what it is. One thing I do want to touch on quickly while we spin these balls of wool is this series is similar to V the Victim's Sequestered series. I didn't honestly think of it at that time. Instead, you do some quests and do a certain amount of them to unlock, basically use them as currency to unlock regions. I think they'll be different enough because I think he's a way better player than I am and probably knows a lot more about the game. So there will be things that he does that I just miss. We haven't seen an episode in 3 months, but I'm sure it'll come out again. And then it's a little different because we have to do all of the quests in a specific region before we can move on. His was just a certain amount of currency and you're good to go. So they're a little different, but mostly it's just the skill gap between me and him that mine is going to be much more bad in terms of the way I do things. And we get 150 crafting XP and 60 coins. It's going to put us up to 3 crafting. Some nice, easy, quick levels. And we're off to our next quest. Now there's one we can technically do. Oh, man. There's one we can technically do. But man, it's way easier to do not in Mistlin. But because we can do it in Mistlin, we have to. And that's going to be Imp Catcher. The area I like to kill imps in is here. Usually on a new account, I'll just do right above Faldor. There's a spawn of 3 or 4 of them. No. There's a spawn of about 3 or 4 of them, and you can just kill them there very easily. Can't do that. Or in Artie, near the monastery, there's a ton of imps there too. Can't do that either. We are going to be killing the imps around Lumbridge, and I feel like the imps around Lumbridge just are so much more of a pain to kill. And these drops are never kind, so we are going to probably be killing imps for a little while. And he does tell us that the wizard next to him enlisted help from hundreds of imps to steal items from him, and they stole a bunch of useless stuff, which is all of the imps' drop table. Balls of wool, buckets, all of that stuff. But the important thing that the imps did steal that we need back are 4 beads. Red, yellow, white, and black. I did see a pair of free booties here, so we will take those. And now we will go get our armor and start slaying. We are going to sack 60 GP for the content, but I do want an Oculus Orb. So I think that's worth it. So I was trying to decide if I wanted to use melee first or range first. I think we're going to range. I was going to say, it's not teleporting yet. I need these. I need to keep the arrows. So it's not great for us, but where did it go? Maybe I should have let the arrows despawn and just auto ran to wherever the imp went. This one? No, it's not. Oh no. Alright, we're on the imp now. And there's a kill as long as it doesn't regen health. Beautiful, our first imp down. What are we getting? Mind Talisman actually... It's decent because the Mind Altar is up here. So it's one area away. But not something immediately useful. And we are just going to train melee. I don't want to keep losing imps. We still got to find this other one that I'd weakened enough. Also, as a note, we don't have to do the quests one at a time. I just am for continuity's sake, but we can do multiple quests, and maybe we will down the line a little bit. There's to attack, our first combat level. Just killing some imps. Fishing tutor gave us our fishing net back. I was hoping that was going to happen, but I wasn't sure it was, so we can get some food now. Alright, we actually got 4 fishing on our last inventory. That took a while, but now we go quickly so we have some food to do things with. There's 7 cooking. And that might be the last one unless we get really lucky and not burning shrimp. Early game is just us walking around Lumbridge and yelling at people that we need quests. So for Restless Ghost, the Church of Lumbridge has an issue that there is a restless ghost haunting the graveyard that they want to get rid of. We have to go find a friend, a colleague, who is in the Lumbridge Swamp, who is a professional on ghosts. We've got our amulet of ghost speak. Father Ernie can't leave this building because he vowed an oath to do 2 years of prayer and meditation in this shack in Lumbridge before he can return back to the town. We are going to grab some gloves because we don't have any yet. Ghost is actually super nice, and he is stuck because a warlock took his skull, so we're going to go back and retrieve his skull, and that'll rest his spirit. And just like that, we've released his spirit and gained ourselves 1,125 prayer points, bringing us to 10 prayer. We can now wear initiate armor and 4 combat, but that's not in our region, so we can't do that yet. There is our first bead. Black bead. It's tough to find these imps. There's not a ton of them here, so I'm just killing them as we come across them. And our first bead. 3 attack, 5 combat, found another imp, and now we're running. Oh, there's another imp. Man, we're swimming in it. Now it's time for Misthalin Mysteries. These two escaped from a murderer at a house party. This, I think, is one of my favorite quests because it's so funny. It is just a riff on, like, the Scream movies. If they released it for Halloween a few years back, and I think it's so well done. They did just rip Drainer Manor out here. I don't know technically where we are. We're not on the map, so since the quest start is in Misthalin, and it's literally called Misthalin Mystery, it counts. This puzzle always kind of screws me up. It's clunky. Now we Scooby-Doo moment, take off the mask, and it was the girl from the beginning of the quest all along. Abigail just being a narcissist. She's upset that she doesn't get to be the star of the show because there are always adventurers doing all the quests and getting all the credit. And then, surprise! There's a second one. And this is where it gets juicy. Both of them. And then he gets mad because she wants to take the spotlight instead of it being for both of them. And then, boom, she ruins Huey. But she's about to get BGS spec'd into the next life. Bonk. Misthalin Mystery complete. We get an uncut ruby, an uncut emerald, an uncut sapphire, and 600 more crafting XP, which is going to put us up to 7 crafting, basically at 8 if I can cut one of these gems. We are literally 1 XP away. We just grabbed a pickaxe from the mining tutor as well. 4 attack. And ashes, gross. We need a shortcut here. Jagex, just a little hop over. A little stole. Or stool. And there's 5 attack. We'll start doing strength now. We got bread dough. Doesn't really do us any good. But we'll make something out of it. I'm just using the logs I picked up from the Wizard's Tower, I think. Because we still need to bank. This is why I could never be an Ultimate Iron Man. This right here. Holy hell. Come on. Come on. Are these logs broken? This is absurd. Here we go. 2 fire making. Ooh. Make bread. That's apparently an easy task. Just asking for more quests. And the Duke found this talisman. He doesn't know what it does, so we're going to bring it over to the Wizard's Tower and have it inspected. Before we go back over to Drainer, though, and continue this quest, we are going to earn up enough money to get the Chronicle with some teleports, just to make life a whole lot easier. Oh man, there's another imp. Alright, I guess we'll do that after. 2 thieving. 3. 4 thieving. We got another frog random. 5 thieving. I'm not getting nearly as much money from this that I thought I was going to, but I would still like to get a Chronicle, so we'll keep this up for a little while. Imp break. 2 strength. And 6 combat. Just every time an imp comes on the screen, stabbing it. We need to get a new weapon. We'll travel to Varrock in a bit. 6 thieving. Show us our second bead. I didn't mean... How? We have 1 bead and we've already gotten a duplicate. That's absurd. I don't know how much I'm going to pickpocket. Maybe I'll go to like, what? Each page is 350 or 150 and the Chronicle's 200. I don't know. I'd like to say 1,000, but that's a lot of pickpocketing. There's 3 strength. And now we're on the run. $11 HP. We can now hit 2s with our training sword. Let's go. Oh, that's big. That is unironically a very nice item. We got some mage bonus for whenever we do mage. Speaking of, let's go claim our runes. 7 thieving. 8 thieving. 9 thieving. There's 10 thieving. We gotta get more food, honestly. So I'm gonna make some more shrimp. 7 combat, 4 strength. There's 5 fishing. Doesn't really do much for us, but there's 6 fishing. Alright, that's good. I need to burn 1 so I can go grab my hat. There's 8 cooking. I'm gonna go back and grab my blue hat. I don't think it'll matter, but it's mine. 9 cooking. And there's 10 cooking. I think that's going to be all the cooking levels we get from this inventory shrimp, but this is just more food to pickpocket. Oh, there's red bead. All right. That is 2 out of 4. There's 11 thieving. We're getting close. Our first genie. What do we put that on? I don't know. Hunter. 12. 13 thieving. If my food will last me, I'm going to stay here till 15. Otherwise, I'm just going to stay here for as long as I can till my food runs out. There's 14 thieving. That's where we're going to stop. 855 GP should be more than enough for a Chronicle and a couple of teleport pages. We got to go grab our air talisman now. We got almost a 15. And 15, really, I only wanted it for ham followers because I like doing easy clues, but it's not the biggest deal. We need to get some food somewhere along the line, but we need to beat all these quests. There's 5 strength, so we're going to go over to defensive attack style now. We've had 5 attack, 5 strength, going for 5 defense. There goes my bead drop. That was yellow bead right there. I felt it. 300 and then 150 each. Okay. I did bad math, but oh, the cabbage cape's also 150. Three teleport cards. Let's do that. All right, so that talisman was one of the talismans used to first do rune crafting back before the Zamorakian mages tried to steal rune crafting for themselves. So that talisman could allow them to get the spell back to get to the essence mine, so the world can have rune crafting again. So now we're going to teleport to Varrock to continue this. Oh, but we're going to kill Nimp first. You rat. I love imp killing. There's rune mysteries done. We have unlocked rune crafting, and we have granted wizards access back to the rune essence mine so that rune crafting can thrive in Galenor again. All right, we keep rolling out. I think we have at least 10 more quests we can do in Misthalin alone before we're on our way. We've already completed 5. That's more honestly than I thought that could be completed in just our small area alone. So they were lost and they asked for directions, and he's been in this house for an hour. That's the whole thing. He turned Ernest into a chicken, and now the machine's broken. Luckily, I already have everything, but he needs to re-transmorph Ernest back into a person. There we go. 300 coins, 4 quest points. Ernest the chicken is done. And that's how we're going to end episode 1 of Questley, the region locked, quest locked, hardcore Iron Man. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like if you did. Comment down below letting me know anything you want to see for the series in particular, any ideas you have, anything you just make videos better. Feel free to subscribe if you're new here. We'll have more of this and other RuneScape content out. And until next time, I'll see everyone later.